Hello folks, in this video we count down the top 10 best roguelite games of 2017. But what exactly is a roguelite? Well, it's not a turn-based dungeon crawler, but it does have some elements that are, well, like Rogue. One life, random levels, saves deleted upon death, and so on. It's best not to think of roguelite as a genre at all. This video includes racing games, twin-stick shooters, platformers, and more. Most importantly, roguelites are some of the best indie games of 2017, full stop. You could even call this the year of the roguelite. Number 10. Phantom Trigger. A Phantom Trigger is a beautifully slick yet flawed entry to the bottom end of my list, offering melee combat where you have to make split-second decisions which combo to use at any one time. This is probably the least roguelike game here. This is more of a straight action RPG with what the devs call roguelike elements. But you'll find few games of this ilk with so much polish, and one that offers that feeling of being in the zone, getting a head rush when you realise you got good, and are dishing out the perfect combo over and over, finishing off enemies left and right. And then the next fight, you'll go back to being crap again. There's a generous demo for this on Steam, so I strongly recommend downloading that and seeing how you get on. Number 9. City of Brass. I've been trying to avoid early access games in this list, but this one was irresistible. City of Brass flows so well, with a thrilling set of basic moves. Your whip is particularly satisfying, giving you options in every fight, and a real sense of being Indiana Jones. The Arabian Nights atmosphere is spot on too, and kinda spooky. The sound design is so good, and if you're not playing this with headphones on, you're really only getting half the game. Underpinning this is all the roguelitery you'll ever need. The levels are random, and not clumsily so. You get shrines to buy perks, and yes, it's got permadeath. It's too early to say whether this will turn out to be a great game, but it's made one hell of an entrance. Number 8. Monolith. No, this isn't the inevitable India than thou entry. Monolith is an arena twin-stick shooter that takes the basics of Isaac and creates one of the tightest, leanest bullet hell shooters of the year. I'm not even giving this love because of the pixel art, which is on the good side of serviceable. The arenas are small and the bullet count is high, but by some magic it still feels fair. Your controls are slick, powerful attacks are well signposted, and enemies will only overwhelm you if you're fumbling your shots. Every run feels different, as you'd hope from a roguelite, and there's a generous amount of stuff to uncover as you go. Also, the chiptune music is ace. Also, I just noticed I got quoted in the official review section on the Steam page. I'm basically rock paper shotgun now. Number 7. Cryptarch. Cryptarch has been around for a couple of years, but it finally hit 1.0 in 2017, with more of everything. It's a side-on twin-stick shooter, where you fly into randomly generated spaceships and mess some shash up, to put it in advertiser-friendly terms. Cryptarch excels in the variety of weapons available, coupled with the way you're never guaranteed to achieve your preferred loadout on a given run. You're forced to improvise, making every run feel different in a game that, from a distance, looks quite samey. I love the way the roguelite elements come together to give you choices to form your own strategies, but never get comfortable. It offers complex risk and reward scenarios. There was nothing mindless about this shooter. Oh, and given the company on this list, I probably don't even need to mention it's also hard as dicks. Number 6. Road Redemption. Road Redemption finally exited early access in 2017, and has become one of the most exhilarating and meaty driving games of the year. It's as far away from a turn-based dungeon crawler as you can get, but hey, the devs have chosen to call it a roguelite, so I'll take it. The roguelite tag comes from the familiar combination of random levels, one life permadeath, and XP carrying over. It feels like a game you do runs of, where sometimes life is unfair, and other times you're a king on two wheels. I mean sure, luck is a factor in many roguelites, will the random number gods bless you or not? But there's nothing unskilled about the bike-on-bike combat here. Every swing of the pipe is on you. Precision, timing, choice of weapon, all on you. Okay, there are levels where a car can literally fall from the sky and flatten you, that's a bit rum, but it's also very funny. Number 5. Flint Hook. I came to Flint Hook quite late, hearing off-putting tales of a difficult control system. But I don't think that's true at all. This grappling hook-based game was easy to get into, and so much fun as I launched myself around the place. I was chaining together multiple grapples without touching the floor in no time, and I rolled in crap. Don't be put off. At heart, Flint Hook is a platforming Binding of Isaac, so the roguelite heritage is already good. It has random, arena-based maps, plenty of trove to find, perks to apply, and bosses to collect the bounty on. Like many other games on this list, it's hugely easy to just jump in and play, offering a sense of flow through the game that's only occasionally interrupted by a lumpenly designed screen or an underwhelming enemy. Again, a good roguelite takes the concept of roguelikes and turns up the fun. Number 4. CAVEBLAZERS. Quite unexpectedly, CAVEBLAZERS managed to step out of the shadow of Spelunky to deliver a distinct and addictive game. What makes CAVEBLAZERS stand out is the combat is so much more fun and varied, culminating in some killer boss fights. Also, computer-controlled explorers can just turn up, each with their own personality. It's hard to explain the sheer joy of watching a friendly AI defeat a nest of enemies, only for you to swoop in and nick the loot. This one feature is a brilliant generator of war stories. Oh, and if you want to get into loot fights with real people, the 1.1 update in November sees local co-op multiplayer added to the game. CAVEBLAZERS is also more in keeping with the old roguelikes. You don't know what a potion does until you drink it for the first time. There's jewellery to equip and magic to wield. It's a warm-hearted tribute to the old school. Number 3. SONGBRINGER. Calling this game a Zelda roguelite is missing the point, even though I've done exactly that every time I've covered the game since the alpha. This game looks like nothing else, a trippy, near-abstract, pixel-arty, dreamlike trance of an RPG. Every last pixel is worth drinking in, every bubble in the water, every bug-eyed swamp creature, every sachet of your salty AI robot buddy. At first, when you're still learning the game, you won't care that each world is random. It feels like a well-designed Zelda that happens to have taken acid. But once you get good and start doing runs on different seeds, you'll really appreciate how clever this all is. The dev's attention to detail here is textbook and destroys the idea that roguelites don't feel handcrafted. Number 2. UNEXPLORED. UNEXPLORED is a real-time dungeon crawler whose random levels are as close to feeling hand-designed than actually being hand-designed. That's incredibly important because bad random levels with unbelievable layouts take you out of the moment and make you want to blame your deaths on the game, often rightly. Here, you get everything that's good about roguelikes and roguelites with nothing to drag it down. It occurs to me that I'm at the stage of life where I treat games such as NetHack and Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup as magnificent, important games that I simply never want to play anymore. I want to keep playing Unexplored though. One of the strengths of the roguelite concept is that the game is free to do whatever the hell it wants, while taking the parts of the old games that made it fun. And importantly, roguelites are generally designed to be fun from the off, rather than getting satisfaction from progressing through a grueling learning experience. But I'm rambling. Unexplored is great. Play it. And number 1, Loot Rascals. Now, turn-based combat is one of my gaming blind spots, but Loot Rascals cares not for my prejudice. This game is a joyful experience that's a million miles away from staring at an army of unmoving soldiers for 5 minutes, feeling very stupid. It also nails the tricky concept of card decks. The way it's done here makes you feel instantly strategic without putting in 10,000 hours of deck building experience, or the cash to buy that. The mechanics are perfect and easily understood. Combat is automatic and based on simple arithmetic. It has a day-night cycle where each creature is best fought in either day or night. You can have up to 10 cards in play, and you get to rearrange them in a grid to optimise how much they affect your attack and defence stats. It's also funny, charming, beautiful, and a happy place to be, while still being a good challenge that changes every time you play it. A simple rule set leading to infinite variety is something a good roguelite needs to nail, and Loot Rascals absolutely does. Now, it's been hard calling this as number 1, if I'm honest. It's not miles ahead of the competition, but I salute it for needing to work twice as hard to get me to love it, blind spots and all. So, to hell with it. Loot Rascals is my favourite roguelite of the year. So that's it. A special mention to Streets of Rogue, which should probably have made the list if I got round to playing the full version more. A shout out also to Future Unfolding, Dead Cells, Freaky Awesome and Tumbleseed, all of which are a little roguelite too. Let us know your favourites in the comments, and do subscribe to Randomise User to get more videos about the latest and best indie games. And you can help keep the channel going by supporting us on Patreon, where there's a bunch of extra videos as a reward for signing up. Thanks for watching!